All right, welcome back, Aries. I'm Ryan with Arrows of Love. Today I'm going to talk about the astrology for May 2021 and also pull some cards for the tarot, and we'll do a love reading. So, Aries, the sun is in Taurus, and it's at the final degrees of Taurus. This is your second house. Taurus is 2 signs past Aries. Second house is all about value. It's about self-worth. It's about possessions and resources and money. So this is a great time for you to increase cash flow if you're looking for that, possible promotions, buying maybe a new car, possibly a new house, maybe doing some upgrades in the home. But this is also a house of self-worth, so you could have been tested on those fronts over the last month. But the sun is going to move into Gemini on May 21st. I'm doing this video on May 18th, so just a few days from now. And this is going to be a very different type of energy. We have a lot of Gemini energy in the sky right now. And Gemini is 3 signs past Aries. This is your busy third house of communication, short distance travel, marketing and selling, and siblings. It also points to technology. The ruler of Gemini is Mercury. Mercury's in Gemini right now, so is the love planet Venus. So right now, it's really about your communication skills. It's a busy house. You can be very flirtatious and busy just running around town. Things are opening up again. And now it's time to start doing a review of your communication sector, because Mercury is going retrograde from May 30th through June 22nd. Mercury rules Gemini. This is going to be a very funky time for communication. There's going to be miscommunications. There's going to be issues with travel, generally speaking. Could be some issues with technology, possible issues with siblings. And Mercury is always a time of review. It's a time of reassessment, realigning. Something will come up during this time that's pointing you toward your attention to review a certain matter in that communication sector overall. So it's going to be a crazy one for all of us, but for you, communication is really going to take a turn for any which way. It's kind of the nature of the beast. The last time we had a personal planet retrograde in its home sign was Mars, and there was an extended stay in your sign of Aries. Mars rules Aries. And when Mars was about to leave Aries for the last day was January 6th during the insurrection. So you can see kind of what happens when a planet retrogrades in its home sign. It can be really pretty intense overall. So communication is going to take a totally different role in your life over the next couple of weeks. We are in the shadow phase of Mercury retrograde right now, Aries, which means the themes by which that could come up during this retrograde, you might be getting glimpses of that now. Again, the dates for that are June 30th through May 30th through June 22nd. So it's going to be a crazy one. And we're going to have eclipses in this area too, and I'll get to that in just a second. Jupiter, the planet of expansion, growth, karmic justice. It has to deal with the law. It's optimism. It's also good luck. Just moved into Pisces on May 13th. And it's going to be there until June 28th until it retrogrades back into Aquarius. And for you, Aries, this is your 12th house. Pisces is 12 signs past Aries. Now, this points to the 12th house has to do with introspection, can have elements of isolation, actually, confinement even. It's a point where we have to do some spiritual growth overall. And Neptune is also in Pisces. Neptune and Jupiter are the modern and ancient rulers of Pisces. And Neptune's kind of this nebulous planet. It's associated with compassion and empathy, spirituality, the God particle, if you want to, call it that. But it can also create illusion and disillusion and confusion and haziness. And Jupiter expands whatever it's near. So now the 2 modern rulers are sitting in that 12th house, and it kind of expands this element of introspection, research, going deep into your thoughts and thinking, wrapping up a major cycle for you. It's a 12-year cycle. Jupiter hasn't been in Pisces for 12 years. It takes 12 years to go through the entire zodiac. So think about what was happening back in 2009, 2010. because that could point to the certain themes that come up again in perhaps a different way this time around. Now, the other thing I want to warn you, especially about Aries, is that the 12th house is also commonly associated with self-undoing and escapist behaviors, including drugs, alcohol, sex, the fantasy land. It's not based in reality. This is the struggle of Pisces. They have to ground their imagination and thoughts, but there's going to be a strong urge for Pisces to escape. And it's going to pull you into directions that you might not actually want to be in 2022, because that's when Jupiter is going to have an extended stay in Pisces. So you have to watch for like cult-like activities. And I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but it's true. Don't get wrapped up into anything that seems cult-like, because it's not going to be healthy. If any of you have addiction issues, they could be exasperated at this time. So you're going to want to seek help. This is not an easy house. It's not an easy transit. Jupiter is a benefic planet, but it also expands whatever it's near. And it's right next to that Neptune. And the Neptune creates this confusion and disillusion and wanting to escape. So you really have to be careful of drugs and alcohol, any escapist behavior, pretty much through the entire summer, and then again throughout 2022, because there's going to be a strong urge to want to escape and to isolate yourself. And, to a certain extent, that's good, because that gives you time to really think about what happens next when Jupiter moves into Aries and toward the latter half of 2022. But, this has a strong pull toward escapist activity. So I want you to be aware of that. That's more so for you than any other sign. Your ruling planet Mars is in Cancer. It's in its fall position right now, so you might not be feeling totally like yourself. Mars doesn't do well in Cancer. Cancer is more of an emotional, home, body, nurturing sign, where Mars is action, wants excitement, wants to get out and do things. It's associated with, virility and aggression and conflict sometimes, but it's also action and it's courage. So here, this could point to potential issues with family conflicts, maybe issues happening in the house. You might have an unexpected repair of the house of some type. It could also point to potential issues with women in the family, or even reproduction issues. So these are common themes. I'll give you a personal, I am a Cancer rising, so this affects me a little bit more. But you need to be careful around water too. So Mars is in its fall position. I literally took a fall last time Mars was in Cancer, which was in the summer of 2019. And I ended up dislocating my shoulder, and I was on a boat. So I was around water. I literally took a fall when Mars was in this position. So, it's things like that could potentially come up. But because this is in your 4th house of home, family, roots, and foundation, you could be reviewing these themes. Conflicts might come up that require your attention, or you just might be feeling a little homebody-ish overall. Mars moves out of Cancer, Aries on June 11th, and it's going to be in Leo into your 5th house. It's a very happy, pleasurable house. So you got about 3 weeks to go. All right, and we're moving into eclipse season. And eclipses, eclipses are always about big endings and big beginnings. And we're going to have a total lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. That's where the moon opposes the sun. It's basically a supercharged full moon. And it always marks potentially the end of something. So the moon is in your 9th house. Sagittarius is 9 signs past Aries. The 9th house has to do with higher education, learning, long distance travel, expanding the mind in any way. It's a philosophical house. This is about your personal beliefs and your ideals. So you can be challenged here about something that you hold dearly needs to be reassessed, or maybe you need to let go of something that you're holding on to that simply isn't producing results. And again, this is more about a philosophical idea of life. So if you're being challenged on your personal beliefs, you need to really pay attention to it and reconsider it, because the universe is asking you whether or not this is truly aligned with your destiny. So the eclipses always mark big beginnings, big endings. We're going to have, right after the lunar eclipse, we'll have a solar eclipse in Gemini 2 weeks later, so early June essentially. And again, that's in your third house of communication, learning, intellect. So again, this has a lot of mental energy to it. Maybe some of you are graduating college, you're brushing up on skills for the job, anything to that effect, or maybe you're going really deep into some type of research, any type of promotion or writing would be, maybe you start a book of some type during this time. I mean, that would not be totally uncommon because publishing is very much part of the ninth house. But again, this has more to do with personal beliefs that you hold that could touch emotionally. So those are the general themes that you can expect basically over the next few weeks. Not a ton happening in your love houses right now, but that doesn't mean love can't be found, Aries. All right, so we're going to do a love reading. I'm going to pull one card for the overall energy from the Angels Romance deck, 3 cards for you, 3 cards for them from the Tarot. Keep in mind these are general readings. Messages will not resonate with all of you. Take a look at your ascendant, your moon, and your Venus sign. Sometimes those will resonate more with you depending on what's happening in your natal chart. All right, Aries, let's see what is going on for you. Stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. Okay. So maybe things aren't as exciting as you would hope that they would be right now, Aries. Universe is asking you to stay optimistic. If things are rocky right now, positive thinking breeds positive results. So stay the course. The universe is guiding you in the right direction. All right, 3 cards for you. Let's see what's happening. The Magician. There we go. Very nice. 9 of Cups. And the Hierophant. All right. This is for them. Ace of Cups. The Fool. Wow. And the Empress. Wow, this is a great reading. So, okay, so let's start with this. You need to stay optimistic about your love life. If you have been doing some manifesting skills, this is what the Magician is all about, right? He is the master of the suits of the Tarot. He's in control of his emotions. He's emotionally intelligent. He can focus on his thoughts and focus his thoughts in a way that's productive. He understands his passion. That's the wand in his hand. And he's great with resources. So he's also good with money and moving things around. So if you've been manifesting someone in your life, or if you're wanting to take things to the next level, it looks like you could very well accomplish that, Aries, because the next card here is the 9 of Cups. And this is abundance. This is feeling great. This is you sitting with all the cups filled behind you, and you're feeling good. So if you're manifesting, if you're wanting to get out there, if you're in a relationship right now, maybe things are just really nice right now. But right now, the thing is, you still need to think positively if you're single, because this is what you're trying to get to, right? You're trying to get to the 9, which is all the good feels, having that emotional abundance, having resources, having your passion, and knowing what that passion is. And it looks like a commitment could be coming for you soon. The Hierophant is the Taurus card. The sun is moving through the last degrees of Taurus right now. This is a house of self-worth. So this is asking you to know your value and making sure that your values are aligned with your actions, right? So if they're not aligned with your actions, you're not going to see the results that you want. But if you know your value and you've been taking the steps necessary to bring in that higher form of love, which is what the Magician is all about, looks like you very well might get that offer that you're looking for. And if you're single and looking, looks like you might be meeting someone new very quickly, because on the other side is the Ace of Cups. This is the start of new romance. This is the start of something that's very emotionally fulfilling. It is literally the universe coming out, the hand here, and holding the cup that's overflowing. So this is something really great that is really going to make you happy. If you're partnered up, It could be a renewal of your relationship. You come to an understanding about where it is you two are going for your future. You could be taking your relationship to that next level. Commitment. It's definitely something new. And it's something new for them, because the Fool is the very first card of the major arcana in the Tarot. He doesn't come with any baggage, or she, doesn't matter. It's the start of the journey through the Tarot, right? It's the very new start. You have two basically new phases, new cycle cards right next to each other. It's a major start overall for them too. So they're coming at this with open arms, an open mind about where this could lead. You need to be careful though. Look at the Fool here, right? He's standing at the cliff, sun shining, the dog is very happy here, but he's looking up, and he needs to be looking forward so he doesn't fall off the cliff, right? So, it's a great card overall because it's the start of something new, but you have to be cautious too. You got to look where you're going, right? It's the whole point of the Tarot. And it looks like they definitely have affection for you, because next is the Empress, or they might be embodying this Empress energy here. It is the card of Venus. Venus is sitting in Gemini. You could be dealing with a Gemini right now, or someone with strong Gemini in their chart. But the Empress is all about abundance. So they might bring abundance to you, and it's emotional abundance. It's material abundance. It's abundance in a new way that maybe you haven't felt in a very long time, Aries. It's a great card to see in any deck. Let's pull a card for the outcome. King of Swords. Yeah. They're going to be making a decision very soon. I think you guys are going to be taking a relationship to the next level. You could be meeting something new. King of Swords knows what he wants, and he goes for it, and he's very good with communication. So communication could be flowing. There's a lot happening in your third house of communication right now with Mercury in there. You could be reviewing things that come up in communication overall, but a lot of communication going back and forth between you two, and this is a good thing because it looks like you're going to be getting an offer very soon. This is an excellent reading. Be patient, stay optimistic. You have some really great things coming overall. Aries, like I said before, watch for escapist type attitude. Make sure you're being grounded and real. But overall, this is a fantastic read. I'm happy for you. You deserve this. Looks like you got some hot things coming your way. All right, if you've enjoyed this reading, give it that thumbs up, like, subscribe. It's very much appreciated from me. And we'll talk to you next month. See ya.